Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to Old Man Rambles. Today, I want to talk about the truth and is it always necessary? Something that's been on my mind recently. To talk about myself for a moment, I consider myself to be a very truthful person. Um, I made myself a promise a long time ago to never speak any word that is untrue. And if that sounds pretentious to you, that's because it is. Um, if you're a nerd like me, you might recognize where that quote comes from. I did steal it from the Wheel of Time book series. But before I did that, I had just decided a long time ago to tell the truth. Um, Not because I'm an honest person. I'm just a really bad liar. I always got caught. Anytime I tried to lie for any reason, I always got caught and always made it worse. So I just decided, since I suck at lying so much, I should probably just stop and always tell the truth. So it was a practical thing. It was a practical choice. It's not because I'm a good person. Um, but since making that practical choice, I have discovered that I do value the truth quite a bit. It is important to me. Um, and it's also just become such a reflex too. I think even if I learned how to lie well, I don't think I would start. I've learned to value the truth too much. But back to my current predicament. I spent a lot of time with my family, well, my in-laws recently. And there have been stories that have been told. Not bad stories, but things have been said. And in the back of my mind, I'm going, I was there. That's not what happened. And I have this very strong urge to correct them. And I'm not sure if I should. These are mostly harmless things. There's no like family shattering lies going on. Um, it's either people misremembering or people remembering things the way they want them to have happened. Um, Deliberate self delusion, I guess you could say. Or maybe not even deliberate. Maybe it's accidental self delusion. Like I said, I was there, and it's like, that's not, I was there, and I'm just like, no, you got to do this right. And that's because, like I said, the truth is so important to me that I feel the need to correct people when they're wrong. And it's not that I need to be right. I'm not some, you know, self-important, I must be right all the time. I have no problem being wrong. Um, it's just that when I see something that I know is wrong, I have this very, very strong urge to say, no, no, you know, this is what actually happened kind of thing. And I've been biting my tongue. I really have. Like I said, it's, I've kind of been thinking, do I just leave it alone? And I have been. I have been leaving it alone. People have other things to worry about. And I really do. And these are mostly harmless things. They're small. They're not ruining people's lives. They may be making some people's lives a little bit more comfortable to believe that things happen the way they wanted them to. But it still bothers me. uh, I mean, I suppose I am a bit pedantic about things. I try not to be, but, and it also falls, I mean, it's one of the reasons I get involved in arguments online. When I've learned not to, mostly. I do see, people posting things online that are just so mind-numbingly stupid, and I feel the urge to correct them. and I've mostly stopped. Sometimes I'll reply before I can stop myself. It's like, what? You're an idiot. Here's the truth. Here's the facts. Sometimes it's like, and I'll hit send. It's like, uh, they're not going to listen to me. They're not going to care. And they don't. All the responses that I get just prove that um, people would rather live with their delusions. And I don't know. Like I said, it's important to me. The truth is important to me. And I guess I just want to talk about this, get it off my chest, that, I've been letting stuff slide. Been keeping my mouth shut, biting my tongue, because that thought has been in my mind. How important is the truth? How important is it to me that people remember the things that actually happened if it doesn't really make any difference in the grand scheme of things? You know, let them have their moments. As long as it's not hurting anybody, as long as no one's being an actual awful person about it, I'm just going to let it go. Good hunting.